This is Circuit Tracks, a handy, portable, powerful groove box from Novation. The Circuit Track has a really simple interface. Let's take a look. At its core, the Circuit Tracks is an 8-track groove box comprising of 2 synth tracks, 2 MIDI tracks, and 4 drum tracks. Let's take a look at the controls. We've got a master volume knob, and we've got 8 knobs that lets you control various parameters of the tracks. We've got a master filter that does low pass as well as high pass. Play to start playing. Press play again to stop. We have the record button that lets you record in steps manually, or you can play them in real time and input steps. We've got a quantize feature as well that's accessible by the shift button. The shift button is basically responsible to access all the secondary functions listed on the buttons over here. We've got effects. Now this is a master delay and a master reverb, so you can send all your tracks to this. We've got a mixer. Now the mixer can be used to mute or unmute tracks, or also set the levels. Note how the knobs correspond to the colors of the track. We have the patterns button here. This lets you choose which pattern is currently playing. It also allows you to chain up many patterns so you can make more intricate sequences. We have the projects to load up your favorite projects. We have a save button. We have clear, if you want to clear anything that you've done. We have the tempo. Now you can set the tempo just by rotating knob number 1 and you get a numeric display for the tempo selected. And apart from tempo, the Circuit Tracks also has swing. So you could engage positive swing or negative swing. The Circuit Tracks also gives you an option to choose scales. You can choose from many scales provided, or you could just go chromatic. You can also choose the root note of your sequence. We have the presets. Here you can choose all the presets for synth 1 and synth 2. You can use the arrow keys to page up and down to select different presets. Here we have the notes. If you notice the top side in blue, that's the sequencer. And at the bottom, that's your keyboard. Press play and we can see that the sequence is now playing. Now in the note mode, we can input various notes by either holding each step of the sequence and inputting notes, or we could hit record and record that in real time. Now by holding the shift feature, we can hit the note button again and we get a full-sized 2-octave keyboard to play with. The next button is velocity. You can change the velocity per step. Next we have gate. This changes the length of each step in the sequence. This is pattern settings. You can change the speed of the playback of the patterns, either go normal time or half time. You could also change the direction of the pattern or the direction of the sequence being played. For example, this is forward. You can go backward. You can go forward and backward. And one of my favorites, you can randomize. Let's take a look at the back of the unit. Power button to turn on and off the device. USB-C that handles software updates, transfer of files, and also charges up the battery that's built in. Yep, it's got a battery that's built in that can last up to about 4 hours. We have a micro SD card slot where you can store all your data and your projects and your samples. We've got configurable MIDI in, out, and through, full size. We've got a sync output. Now the sync output can connect to any other device that is capable of receiving sync, and you can sync up BPM and tempo that way. We've got master outputs. We have a dedicated 3.5mm headphone jack, and we have inputs. Now the inputs can be used to route another signal in, say another instrument or a synthesizer, and only get affected by the effects of the Circuit Tracks. Now that's the overview of the Novation Circuit Tracks. Get in touch with your nearest Novation reseller for more information.